RC Enerson. RC, welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, you were at Laguna Seca the other day, and that sounded like it went pretty well.
Yeah, I'm glad the rain held off as long as it did.
So what kind of things did you learn about the car, about yourself, about the team when you were there?
I mean, yeah, the track was a bit low grip as usual, but we've raced there in Indy Lights before, so I think that gave us a little bit of advantage. I mean, you look at the top of the boards too, and there's a lot of guys that had raced there or had been there, and you could see the people that hadn't were struggling. But again, another test with the team that helped grow a little bit closer to the bond with them, and I think we got a lot out of it.
And what are you looking to accomplish here in the next couple of days at Kodak?
Of course, be quick and show what we can do, and hopefully that will help promote getting to races this year.
Okay, let's go ahead and open it up for questions.
A couple of years ago, you had, made a pretty big name for yourself in Indy Lights and had a lot of interest, and then things kind of tapered off. How frustrating was that?
It's a bit, I mean, but you hear it from a lot of other racing drivers. It's hard to find budget to be going places, and that's one of the hardest things to do in racing is to make sure you're in the car all the time, especially when you get to the higher levels where the competition starts to thin out pretty aggressively.
What did you do to stay sharp?
Of course, since my dad owns the Lucas Oil School of Racing, I was driving those cars all the time, so I was at least driving something, even though it's not of the horsepower, downforce, or anything of an IndyCar. It keeps you a bit active, still doing some prototype stuff to help keep the reflexes sharp and everything, but I think that helped with coming back and being as strong as we did.
How different is the commitment level with this car? I know it was a while since you drove the manufacturer aero kit, but I mean, how different was that commitment level that you felt?
I think it feels a bit more similar to how the Lights car was, actually, with a little bit less downforce, a little bit more moving around, where the one that I remember back from 2016 was the car was just planted everywhere. You could just add steering and the thing was never going to move anywhere. This one, the car dances around a lot more. It's a lot more working with the car, hustling it around than technique, so to speak.
Is that something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, I think it feels good. I've always liked the loose race car and being able to muscle the thing around. So I think it suits my driving style pretty well.
Did you do any long runs at Laguna Seca in terms of checking out tire preservation over a long stint?
Yeah, we did about a 10 to 12 lap stint, which is pushing somewhere close to a full fuel load, and they do wear off pretty aggressively. It's going to be tire management mixed with, we tried a little bit of fuel saving stuff, but it was, tire management was pretty tough.
Well, I recall you did more laps than anyone else, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we did the most laps, but it was a big drop off on lap time too, as the tires start to degrade.
Okay.
So.
What did you think of Laguna Seca as a place where did you find any passing zones?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I think there's only going to be like maybe into the last corner and then maybe into two, but with the curve with the front straightaway, it's the defending versus blocking is going to be a little hard to police, and I think it's going to be one of the hardest tracks to actually get by people.
Yeah.
When you go into a situation like this, it's in a sense it's like an audition, but yet you got to go out there and impress. But how do you balance the role of not doing exactly what you need to do without maybe stepping over the line and making mistakes?
Yeah, that's always a fine line for us as to I want to be as helpful as I can to the team as well. I am there to show what I can do, but I'm also there to help them as much as I can with setups on the car and help progress their program. So I'm there to do both things. So trying to dance around that line is very fine, but I think we've done a pretty good job of not stepping over it so far. So I think it'll be pretty good today.
So, do you feel pressure?
Of course, there's always pressure. I mean, anybody that says there's not any pressure at all is not exactly telling the truth. But yeah, there is a little bit of pressure, but it's a lot less than people might think.
You were one of 3 drivers who tested at COTA. I think it was in October of last year. What was your favorite part of the track?
I'd have to say the high commitment S's. They're pretty insane. It's you turning in flat to those 5th, 6th gear, and having to do a slow decel through there, trying to hold your neck up, trying to keep the wheel turned with how high grip the track is pretty difficult, but it's a fast and flowing track. with an incredible variety of corners. Very open, very wide. I think the racing there is going to be insane. But as far as just a driving track, it's mixed between technique with low speed and then extremely high speed commitment.
Compared to the situation you had a few years ago, I mean, do you feel more comfortable than going into that prior situation? I mean, you feel more comfortable this time around, more ready?
Yeah, I think I feel more comfortable now. Of course, the aero package is a lot more similar to what I've driven a year and a half for in lights. So it's a bit more similar to me. And I think everybody else got a little bit comfortable with how the old aero package was. And I think we got a little bit of an edge coming back with the aero package that's on the car right now.
But I mean, even from a team front, do you feel more comfortable? From that?
Yeah. Carlin's been, I mean, they were in lights when I was in lights, and they were pretty much the toughest competition. Besides when Juncos was winning the championship, but they were the next one there. That made it hard for us to beat them at all. I mean, they swept the first 3 races in the first season with lights and pretty much dominated. So, and then I can come here and their cars are amazingly prepared. And I think last year they had 0 mechanicals, so they were a very high-ranking team.
How have you prepared for COTA besides the laps you had?
Of course, the simulator, you can get a little bit out of some of the iRacing stuff, but it's kind of just more of doing the track walk and making sure you're mentally prepared to go into it knowing what you're going to try in certain corners before you even go out, and then picking up on what's working and what's not working, and being one of the first people to figure it out.
Yeah, I think you'll learn real quick. Turn 19 is not accurate on the iRacer.
Yeah, not at all, not at all. And I'll be curious to see what they do as far as track limits there too.
When you saw all the attention that Colton got the last couple of years, and Pato with his debut at Sonoma, you know you can do it. I mean, you get a little jealous.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough to watch the races like that and not be in it as well. That's probably the hardest part of actually being a race car driver, is when you have to watch the race and not be in it. But now that we're getting these test days done and we're working towards trying to be in races this year, the confidence is full forward, and it's good.
Anything else for RC? All right, thank you, sir.
Cool.
That's
Thank
one.
you.